female gymnast of all time.
It's one of my nerve-wracking events that I go out and compete for, so I was really happy. Routine, just like how I train it, and to get the result back, world champion on beam, it feels very good.
Simone Biles is a winner, plain and simple. 2019 World Artistic Gymnastics Championship, when she took home her 25th medal, thus making her the most decorated gymnast of all time. It also gave her the record for the gymnast with the gold medals, 19, and gymnast with the most world all-around titles, 5. This remarkable feat, one that only scratches the surface of Biles' greatness, as she's also won 5 Olympic medals and is poised to 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan,
All 5 of them for one time. So I can't imagine 25.
Number 9. She's tiny.
The question I wish people would ask is, how tall are you? Are you gonna grow? I'm not going anywhere. I'm 4'8". I'm stuck.
In general, gymnasts tend to be relatively short. This comes in handy as their height makes them ideally suited to the highly complex jumps and maneuvers they must perform during competitions.
I've seen some of my guy friends try it, but they never land it, so they get really upset.
In fact, at feet 8 inches tall, Simone Biles is roughly average height for a female gymnast. So she was the shortest member of the Olympic team that represented the United States at the 2016 Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro. But as Biles points out, it's not a size difference. It's about what you do and loving your body.
To me, healthy body image is when you feel confident with yourself and out.
One line of leotards.
How do you surpass that?
Well, sometimes I kind of, just because we have to go forward and I focus on other things, but once it's really cool, and then all the little kids that look up to me, it's just an honor.
Olympic glory and lucrative sponsorship deals go hand in hand. And while it's true Simone Biles landed a number of endorsable performance at the 2016 Olympics, she'd previous deals with Nike and GK Elite Sportswear in 2015.
I'm having Firecracker Leo, so hopefully you guys check it out at kiki.com/Simone.
The latter saw her and the gymnastics apparel giant inking a deal that gave Biles her own unique line of leotards, most of which are still available for purchase today. Clearly, Biles is no stranger to the saying, strike while the iron is
Something to wear at the Olympics.
Oh my god!
Number 7. Her sister is also a gymnast.
10 seconds.
Growing up, Simone and her younger sister were thick as thieves. They played together, trained together, and supported each other in their athletics.
What's the best thing about one another? I don't know, she always knows how to be, especially when I'm like really angry.
While Simone would go on to reach the heights of her sport, Adria was training for and participating in competitions just as her. When Simone won 4 golds and a bronze at the 2016 Rio Olympics, Adria couldn't have been happier for her sister, saying, quote, "We were all jumping up and down when she won. I just couldn't stop crying." Number 6. She's co-written a book.
I love this book for a million reasons. One is when people see you, they think, oh, Simone Biles' career must have just gone straight up with no hiccup.
Following her incredible performance at the 2016 Summer Olympics, 19-year-old had the opportunity to tell her side of the story.
Even before the games, everyone had crowned me 5-time gold medalist, so it was hard to think. I went out to compete, but I tried not to let it get to me, but I felt like once I had disappointed everyone.
With the help of seasoned writer and editor Michelle Burford, Biles co-authored an autobiography titled Courage to Soar, about a life in balance. Released in November of 2016, the book would make it to Times Young Adult Bestsellers list just 6 months later.
My hope is that people who read this book believe it really does take courage to follow your dreams. That's what I've learned.
Decision to pen an autobiography, Biles remarked, quote, "There are so many people who have inspired me with their love and encouragement along the way, and I want to pass on that inspiration to others." She was homeschooled. When Simone Biles was 15, she opted to leave public school in order to be homeschooled by her grandparents. More on them in a minute. The arbitrary, as it allowed Biles to increase her gymnastics training from 20 hours a week to 32 hours a week.
So we had a private teacher, and I realized, they get to represent their country rather than going to public school. And I was like, okay, my friends will always still be there and stuff. So I soon realized it, but it took a lot of crying.
Seeing as how she took home 2 gold medals at the World Championships the following year, we'd say that decision was a positive one. Declared her intention to attend UCLA, going so far as to sign a letter of intent in 2014, decided to turn pro instead, and the rest, as they say, is history. Number 4. Her grandparents adopted her. Simone Biles had a silver spoon in her mouth. Her mother struggled with substance abuse, and Simone and her 3 siblings spent part of their childhood in foster care.
You said when you were living with your biological mom, you used to see that the cat were mad at the cat because the cat had enough food and guys didn't.
In 2000, Simone and her younger sister Adria went to live with their grandparents in Texas, while the remaining siblings were taken in by Simone's great aunt. Ron and Nellie Biles, an retired nurse respectively, officially adopted Simone in 2003 and have looked after them ever since.
Because every time they would come to visit Grandpa, and then we went to live with him.
This caused a minor controversy at the Olympics, as one commentator referred to Ron and Nellie as Simone's grandparents. However, if you ask Simone, she'll quote, "Parents are my parents, and that's it."
Not only do I have to sacrifice so much, my parents and my sister and my siblings sacrifice just as much, and I don't think people realize that.
She fell in love with gymnastics while on a field trip.
When I was a young gymnast like you, I had a lot of love and passion. Little Simone, she just flailed her body in the air and just thought it was the greatest thing of all time.
Is not a necessary component of being a star, but it definitely doesn't hurt. When it comes to Simone Biles and her career as a world-class gymnast, you have to travel all the way back to 2003 and a daycare field trip to a local gymnasium. It was there, at the age of 6, that Biles discovered gymnastics and took to it like a fish to water.
And so I remember peeking back, and I would see these girls on the tramps and on the beams and all of that tumbling and flipping, and I was like, I think I'm copying them.
Her natural skills caught the eyes of the instructors, who suggested she return for additional lessons. Little did they know they were talking to the girl who would later become the most decorated female gymnast of all time.
We find a good routine that I think very well. Under pressure, I think she can score very well.
Number 2, she has multiple moves named her. You know you're one of the top athletes in your sport when they start naming moves after you.
So he's like, well, less of a half twist, and it's a double a half, so I'll flip twice in the air and do my routine. It's my second pass. You could get it named, and nobody's ever done it before.
Dubbed the Biles, her first signature move was a double layout half on floor that she's been performing since 2013. And even more complex by adding a front layout. She also has the Biles on vault, performed at the 2018 World Championships. The following year, she performed a triple-double on floor that was immediately 2, before hitting a double-double dismount on the balance beam that was also named after her. Before we unveil our number 1 pick about this amazing gymnast, here are some honorable mentions.
No, I haven't had a chance to meet him, but his kids are absolutely adorable, and I want to babysit them.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. she's responsible for a lot of firsts.
She has whatever that perfect mix of incredible difficulty, but also consistency and artistry and the technique. It's just kind of all balled up into one, and she just kind of is.
If it isn't already painstakingly apparent that a wrecking ball of a gymnast, this entry will destroy whatever doubts you have.
I just want to thank you all for believing in me. It means the world to me. So thank you.
Biles is the first American every World Artistic Gymnastics Championship feat in 2018. She's also the first to win 3 World All-Around titles in a row, with her current 5 all